Value is a measure of your usefulness through your ability to solve problems and to provide solutions, whether personal, professional, social, or life-oriented. Values make room for knowledge, wisdom, and heightened self-realization. They are unique and individualized. We all choose different combinations of values in life, and these choices shape our actions and life decisions. Hello and welcome to another episode on Teens Corner on Global TV. I am Sharon Ajay, and today we'll be talking on values, the reality for teenagers. And today I have with me in the studio a very beautiful lady. She is a public speaker, a content marketer, and the founder Team Value Overload Initiative. I'll be introducing her to you all after this short break, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Teens Corner on Global TV. Like I said before we went on a short break, I said I'll be introducing you to a very pretty lady who will be talking to us on values, in regards to teenagers and all of that. So how are you doing, Miss Goodness?
Hello, Sharon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I am elated to be here and to talk about this topic. It's one of the things that drives me, and for me, I think it was one of my passions for the creation of the Team Value Overload Initiative.
Wow.
I intended to use it as a platform to reach out to secondary schools, teenagers, just to ensure that we don't totally lose our values, because in our society today there's a lot of moral decadence, and so just to keep our values renewed, revived, and to keep it going. So I feel happy to be discussing this topic with everyone today.
Wow, I'm so excited because I know you have lots of insight and ideas that you'll be sharing with us teenagers, and obviously lots of teenagers are watching, and many of them would pick lessons, will pick motivation, and a lot of things from what we are going to discuss today. So we'll be going straight to the questions I have for you. And one is, how can a teenager make positive impact on their school or community? And I'll start off by saying, from the interaction I've had with some teenagers, because basically not all of them, think that way. They just feel like, okay, to give value or to be a person of value, you have to be a certain, you have to be, get to a certain age or something like that. They feel like, okay, as a teenager, I'm young. I can't start doing things. I can't start, walking towards, greater heights. I just need to be calm and be a teenager. Just do my thing, relax. So when I get to probably the adult age, or when I, get to a particular age, then I can now start dishing out value, or I can now start, start running after values and all of that. And I was, it's ridiculous, having some teenagers think that way, because the truth is that if you don't start early, now I'm not saying you can't start late, but if you have that kind of mindset, sincerely, even if you get to that your adult stage, how are you sure that that mindset won't still be there at that age? Because you might still keep procrastinating. You might keep saying, okay, I've gotten to this age, but let me just wait a little, let me enjoy this phase of my life and get to the next stage before I can now still, run after value. And before you know, let's say you are 40, you are 50, not that 40 can achieve, but at that point you are now, we can call it late. Just that, or delayed kind of. So I want you to enlighten us. How can teenagers?
All right, thank you very much. I think one of the things that I want to emphasize is the fact that impact knows no age, impact knows no size. So you can't say I can't be impactful because I'm small.
Yeah.
You can't say I can't be impactful because I'm not tall. You can't say I can't be impactful because I'm of a certain age. Impact knows no, it knows no age, it knows no size. That means that even teenagers can make impact. In fact, history has a lot of teenagers that have made impact. Even in our current time, we have a lot of teenagers making impact. So to you teenager out there, your age is not a limiting factor for you not to make impact. And one of the ways that you can make impact, for me, the first thing is, you know how people say you cannot give what you don't have.
Exactly.
Cannot give what you don't have. So they have to be impacted.
Okay.
They have to be like an impact agent to be able to make an impact. So are they impacted? Do they know what it means to make impact? For me, that is the first thing before you start to talk about going out there to make impact. Because if you go out there without knowing what you're supposed to do, you'll burn out.
Exactly.
And you don't even want to go out without having clarity and even understanding of what impact is and what you should be doing, even as a teenager. So the first thing is for them to understand that they have to be impacted themselves. And if they've been impacted, then they should go out to make impact. Going out doesn't mean they have to start, you know, seeking for big platforms to make impact. Going out wherever they are, they can start from wherever they are. For me, going out is understanding that yes, it can happen with me, from me at any time and anywhere I find myself.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for that. You know, I want us to break this down because now when you with all of this talk, some teenagers might still be, well, value. You know, when you talk about value or being valuable, being, you know, someone of value, they just feel they see it as a big, except if probably they are opportune to meet maybe someone like you that would break it down or, you know, teach them, walk them through the steps and all of that. They might just feel like, wow, value, it is big. Like, how can I make value? You said I should make value. I have to be a person of value to make value and, you know, to give value and all of that. And they might be wondering. So I want you to help us, like, you know, break it down to school and community. Like, okay, I'm a teenager, I'm 17, I'm 18, I'm 15. What impact can I, you know, give to my community? What impact can I give to my school? Because probably some of them might even be doing some things that are valuable, but probably they don't know that it is something of value. They don't know they are making impact already, and they just feel like I need to probably write a book, or I need to, you know, attain some height. I need to stand in front of a crowd to be able to say I am impacting. Do you understand? And all of that. And please, I would love you to break it down, to tell them that, and to, you know, motivate them, to, you know, applaud them and say you are actually making impact in this area. So this is the start point. You just need to, you know, as you're advancing, you need to keep topping up and all of that. So
I get I understand that when people hear impact, it sounds so, in fact, it feels heavy, it feels weighty, like impact.
Exactly.
So it's usually thought to be this big thing. You know, I'll refer back to when I was in junior secondary school. Schools have clubs, what they call clubs and society. There was this club in my junior secondary school, SAGE, and it helped a lot of people. Some of the people I know that are into public speaking today, it started from there, because we do stuff like presentations, and aside presentations, I remember going for an event where it's like an environmental stuff. Advocate for environmentals, you know, green the top, cool the down, meaning that we have to plant trees. If you plant trees, then the top will be green, meaning that the earth, the ground will be cool. You know, all those kind of stuff. So I want to encourage these teenagers. You're in schools, right? Even if you're not in school, for those in school, I'll start with those in school. For those in school, you have stuff like clubs and society. And of course, the fact that it's in a school setting means that they do meaningful stuff. Some people have book clubs where they get to read. And as you're reading, you're impacting yourself. Remember I said that if you're not impacted, you cannot make impact. So imagine you're in a book club, you're impacting yourself. Now, when you go out, you can speak to someone about a topic that you have read from your book. You can speak to someone and say, no, that's not correct. I read it in this book. You're supposed to, probably you're correcting someone grammatically. You're supposed to say it this way. Or, you know, you've impacted yours. That's already impact.
Exactly.
It starts small and then it grows.
That's
it
the
starts
word.
with something
Small.
like being thoughtful. It starts with something like, not littering the environment. You know how a lot of people don't have that consciousness in them. So why we're talking about global warming today, one of the things that causes global warming is the fact that the environment is being littered with a lot of harmful substance. So you are someone that is enlightened about what our society needs, what the ecosystem needs, and you take it upon yourself to say, oh, this trash, I'll be more mindful about how I keep my trash. I don't just litter the environment. I don't just, you know that there are people that clean your school. So that's impact. It may just be you. You know, the funny thing about impact is the fact that some people think the fact that there is a decadence, the fact that there's rottenness everywhere, I think I don't need to be the only one being good. Some people call it being good, but it's not just being good. It's you making a difference in your society, in your home. Even in your home, it's as little. It's the impact is. It goes down to those little other areas. It's actually broad. Talked about writing a book. Some people have ideas. I know people that started writing when they're 6. So just imagine that you have great knowledge or an idea about something, you put it down in writing, and then you take it to your school, or you even publish it, and other children start to read about it, other teenagers read about it, and they learn values, they learn about integrity, they learn about respect and not to disrespect. That is you already making impact.
Exactly.
So please don't think too far, dear teenager. Don't think too far. Is you being thoughtful? Is you being mindful? Is you making efforts to ensure that you make a difference in your society?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you. See, I love. That's why I'm super glad that I have you on the show, and I hope we were able to pick out something from what you just have. I repeated something she said. The key word little. You have to start little. Aside starting little in your environment, your community, your homes, you just have to do the right thing. Doing the right thing means you are making impact. So we're going to go on a short break now, and when we return, we'll be unveiling more ideas and more insights on teenage values and all of that. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Teens Corner on Global TV. Before we went on a break, Goodness was telling us lots of things, a lot of ideas, rather a lot of insight from our perspective to teenagers on how we can be impactful. And she made mention of just doing little things. She tagged it, or rather she said people tag it as good. You doing good. It's reasonable, even when there's a saying that goes, what others, I think what others may do, I cannot, or something like that. I don't know, you've heard that saying.
I think
others may, I cannot. Exactly. That's so even if you feel like bunch of people or the crowds are going this way and you feel it's not right, or it's not right, it is totally wrong to go along with that. So long you know that it is what you are doing or what you have to do is the right thing to do, then even if you're doing it alone, it is reasonable and it is good to go that direction. So Goodness, there are lots of teenagers that they say, I want to make impact, I want to be valuable, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't really know how to go about it. And they are confused. Some might even pick a book and say, okay, let me read, but they don't just know what to do with it. Some might say, let me join a club, but they feel like I don't fit in. Some might say, let me do this, let me do that. Okay, I've been listening to podcasts, I've been, watching TV programs and all of that. And they say, these are the ways to, get value, but I just can't do it. How would I go about it? And that's what brings us to our next question. What are some ways to develop valuable skills and talents during our teenage years?
Okay, Thank you very much. And you guys, thank you for staying tuned. Well, one of the things I want to mention is volunteering. Volunteering, I see it in two ways. Number one is volunteering yourself. You know how you don't need anybody to push you into it. You take it upon yourself. What I mean is being responsible, understanding that you have a responsibility. The fact that you are now a person of value means that you should take it upon yourself to tell others to impact others. So let's imagine now that you are someone that attended an event where you were taught about how to take care of the society and how to, help Mother Earth and how to heal the ecosystem, because right now the ecosystem is a bit sick because of all of the gases that has been emitted into it. So you went there and you learned some stuff and you came. And just on your way back, you saw someone doing something that is not beneficial to the earth or to something that you've learned. The responsibility is on you. You don't need anybody now to push you. Take on that responsibility and teach the person. Now, it's not a matter of violence, not you being angry, and you should also keep quiet. The fact that you've been impacted, the fact that you've learned, means that you should teach other people. Take it upon yourself. Secondly, there are organizations, there are also clubs, there are societies open for individuals, for teenagers like yourself to volunteer. Why not volunteer? Why not volunteer? Go to such places and go to such places. I mentioned Sage Club when I was in school. There was Sage Club, and I know there are other organizations too open to accept people, volunteers. When you volunteer yourself, go there and do the work. Yes, they may not be paying you, but you're learning, and as you're learning, you're also making an impact. That's how it goes. So I think for that question, my answer is volunteering. It goes a long way for you to make an impact in your society, because in volunteering, you're doing the work. In volunteering, you're not just doing the work. People are seeing you, you're teaching others. You may also be called as a volunteer to go to a school or to go to an event and teach other people. That way, you're already making impact.
Exactly.
You don't have to be on the billboard before you start making impact. By working, you're already making impact. The problem with impact is that people want to be recognized. People want to be on the spotlight. People want to be seen. Impact it is not really measured by that. There is somebody you don't know in this world that has made great impact, but you have never seen that person. So this is an encouragement to teenagers out there. Do not wait to be on the spotlight. Do not wait till mommy sees you. Do not wait till daddy sees you. Do not wait till that person you respect sees you. Do it whether you're seen or not. That is what impact is all about.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In a world, because the teenage world is full of peer pressure. Like, you don't talk about teenagers. In short, you do not talk about teenagers without mentioning peer pressure. It is one aspect of the teenage life that you can't just. It's something that you must talk about. It's something that is in the teenage world, and in regards to peer pressure, because there are lots of teenagers that would really love to make impact, and they're holding on to their core values, probably the one that has been inculcated from their parent, they learned from their parent, their teachers, or just probably their community, and they're holding on to it. Now getting to school or getting to, it could even be, university and all of that, peer pressure can, kick in. And in that kind of, that kind of situation, they might be wondering, okay, if this person is not making impact, this person is not making impact, but is still living like a good life, is it necessary that I still hold on to my core values, or is it necessary that I still uphold to my beliefs and stand up for what I believe in, rather than, or working or just doing what these people are doing? And that's what the next question is talking about. It said, how can teenagers use their voice and actions to stand up for what they believe in? Because there's one thing to strongly believe and say, I'm holding on to this core value, I'm holding on to this belief, and there's another thing to, you understand, the other way around. So please just kindly enlighten us, like how can they, strongly stand up and use their voice, and regardless of the peer pressure, regardless of the, the push and all the vices, everything just going around, in the teenage world, like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. One of the things that causes peer pressure is an unhealthy self-esteem. Most people lack self-esteem, and most teenagers suffer from low self-esteem. When I was a teenager, I suffered from low self-esteem, and God helped me, and I also, made up my mind to, stand for what I believe in. The truth is, why is it you? Why are you the one being pressured, instead of you being the one that influences? Why are you being the one that is influenced? That kind of stuff. Now, I want teenagers to believe in themselves. You have to believe in yourself. Sometimes the pressure comes from you not believing in yourself, not believing that your voice counts or your voice matters. You know how teenagers behave. They can easily laugh at you. Your friends can easily laugh at you and say, look at you, what are you even doing? Does that even make sense? Let's say you're an advocate of don't trash it on the ground, take it to the bin. And they're saying, what is that? Say everywhere is dirty. And before you know, you join them in doing that. I said it before and I'll say it again. Impact is not, you mentioned it, that impact is not when you're following the crowd. And I want to emphasize that if you want to make impact, there will be a time when you have to do it alone, because a lot of people may not buy your values, and that's where making friends come from. You need to be friends with people that are of the same, that believe in what you believe in. It may not be holistic. What I mean is, it may not be 100%. You may not have 100% of friends that believe in what, but there should be a greater percentage, because iron sharpens iron.
Exactly.
If you are a weak person amongst those other people, you know how they say, if you can't beat them, join them. You actually join them. So you need to have a community of friends and a circle of friends that have your own value, that believe in what you believe in. That way it will make it easier for you to stand your ground and believe in what you believe in. Because when you bring it to them, they're like, oh my God, yes, this is it, I think we should stand by it. Also, you should believe that the values, that the good values that you are preaching about, that you are holding on to, is what it is. So don't throw it away because nobody is believing in you, because they are laughing at you, because they don't want to listen to you. Don't throw it away. There are people that are waiting to listen to you. There are people that are going to be impacted by what you are doing. Your friends may not believe in it. People close to you may not even. Sometimes it's crazy that even our members may not believe in it, but there are people that are going to be impacted by it. So please do not be pressured in not doing the right thing. Stay on it. It's what it is.
Thank you so much. I like the fact that you mentioned friends, because due to the peer pressure and some other teenage vices and all of that, we have some teenagers that have become loners. You can point, maybe in a percent that I'm not being, it's not like a technical answer. This is just from my own perspective. Maybe from like 100%, you can see like probably 50% or rather 40% of teenagers being loners, because they don't have genuine friends. They don't have friends that would, work with them or tell them, okay, you are good the way you are, and all of that. So I just want you, just in like 1 minute, to tell us how to, build meaningful relationships with others as teenagers.
Okay. Building meaningful relationships, this is very important, because relationship is a currency. So relationship and building meaningful relationships is actually very important. I mentioned it before and I'll mention it again, because it's the first thing I consider when building relationship value.
You must have Same
Our
value.
values must align.
Okay.
These days, people call it energy. It must align. There must be synergy. We shouldn't be struggling. I shouldn't be struggling to bring you to believe what I believe in.
Exactly.
Then that friendship will not be meaningful.
Yeah,
it will
value.
affect me at the end of the day, who is trying to uphold these good values.
Yeah.
It will affect. So does our values actually align?
Yes.
If it aligns, that's good.
Yeah.
Number 2, in building meaningful relationships, you need to be thoughtful,
Okay.
you need to be mindful, and you need to be open, you need to be teachable.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And I hope we've been able to learn a lot from what Goodness. I sincerely appreciate you so much. And I believe that there are teenagers out there that have received answers to their, long questions that they've had in their mind, or long questions that they've been longing for answers to. Thank you so much once again. And thank you all for joining us on today's episodes on Teens Corner on Global TV. I hope you gained some new insights, and remember, you are always welcome to tune in again and again anytime. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Sharon Ajay. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.